Hello everyone, this is Sarvahita, Assistant Professor of CSE Department from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. I am here to discuss a few topics of the subject multimedia and animation. In this, we are going to discuss about the topic 2D, 2.5D, and 3D animations. 2D animation creates a movement in a two-dimensional space with the characters and the environments, which is defined by the height and width but no depth. So the techniques used here are frame by frame animation, in which each frame is drawn individually. The cutout animation, where the characters and the objects are animated by moving the parts or the pieces. Rotoscoping, that is tracing over live action footage for the realistic motion. The tools used here are Adobe Animate, Toon Boom, Harmony, Open Tunes. Characteristics are the flat visuals, often with a stylist or hand drawn aesthetics, typically faster and less resource intensive than the 3D. It is common in traditional cartoons, explainer videos, and anime. 2.5D animation. It mimics the 3D depth while the still primarily working in a 2D space. It's a hybrid style that gives the illusion of 3D using the layers, shadows, and perspective. The techniques used here are parallax scrolling, in which the layers of 2D elements move at different speeds to create the depth. Simulated depth, which using the shadows, lighting, and perspective changes. 3D assets in a 2D space, which is incorporating the 3D objects into a 2D environment. After Effects, Spine, Moho are the tools used for 2.5D animations. After Effects for the 3D layers and camera tools, and the Spine for 2D skeleton animation with the depth effects, and Moho for rigging and depth illusion. The characteristics of these are it combines the simplicity of 2D with the dynamic depth of 3D, ideal for games, motion graphics, and stylized animations. 3D animation, it involves creating and animating the objects in a fully three-dimensional environment, giving depth, height, and width to characters and scenes. Techniques used here are modeling, rigging, rendering. In modeling means it is creating 3D objects and characters. Rigging means building a skeletal framework for the movement, and rendering is generating the final animated frames with the lighting, textures, and effects. The tools used are Blender, Maya, and Cinema 4D. Blender is for free, versatile 3D software. Maya means industry standard for the 3D animation and VFX, and Cinema 4D, which is popular for the motion graphics. Characteristics of this are highly realistic or stylized visuals depending on the project. It can simulate the physics like gravity, collisions, and fluid dynamics. More resource intensive than 2D and 2.5D. Here is the comparison table about the dimensions in 2D animation, 2.5D animation, and 3D animation. In the case of dimension, it is flat, no depth for 2D animation, simulated depth for 2.5D animation, and full depth, that is 3D space for the 3D animation. And in the case of tools, it is Adobe Animate, Toon Boom, and After Effects Moho for the 2.5, and Blender Maya for 3D. And the visual style, the flat stylized for 2D animation, flat plus depth illusion for the 2.5D animation, realistic or stylized for the 3D animation. And use cases for 2D animation is cartoons, anime, and 2.5D animation, it is motion graphics and games, and for 3D animation, film, games, VR, etc. Thank you.